Okay, this problem is just like number 29. You have an x-intercept of 6, and they tell you your y-intercept is -3. Hopefully by now, when you see the y-intercept, you're kind of thinking, oh, that's my b. b equal -3. And I know I've got the equation y equal mx plus b that I'm going to use, so let me write that down, because that's going to kind of help jog my thinking here, I think. This -3 is just going to go in here. So now I know this much of it. I have mx minus 3. Okay, I got too many things missing. I don't have my slope. How am I going to find it? Well, remember, your x-intercept up here means that this is x is 6 and your y is 0. This gives me an x value and a y value. I could come stick that in over here, and that's what I'm going to do. My y is 0, and my x is 6. And I already had other parts of this. I had the other parts here. I don't know why it's so faint. Okay, so m times 6 is the same thing as 6m. We've got 6m minus 3, right? So I'm trying to get m by itself. Let me add 3 to both sides. I have 6m is equal to 3. All right, still trying to find out what m is. Let me divide both sides by 6. So m is equal to 3 over 6, but doesn't that reduce to a half? Oh, there's my slope. My slope is a half. Slope is a half. My y-intercept is -3. So I can now plug them in really easily. I have a half of x, and then my y-intercept is -3. I could have put plus -3, but I'll just, plus -3 is the same thing as -3, so I'm going to write that in there, and I'm done. Okay, we had another problem in this section. It's kind of like this. When you see a horizontal line, you need to think some things about it. You need to think horizontal line. Oh, I know some things. I know there's a slope of 0. I also know horizontal lines always have the same, not 3, 0. I know horizontal lines always have the same equations. They always tell me y is always the same thing, because if you think about a horizontal line, your y values are always the same. Try that again. Like, for instance, that, okay? Now, I could go over here and do y equal mx plus b, and I could plug in 0, and I could plug in an x, and I could plug in the y, which is 5. You can't read that because I'm not actually going to do that. I could solve this and figure it out, okay? The thing about it is I don't really want to have to do that every time. I need to know cold turkey, because these are going to show up so much in math, that a horizontal line is y is always the same thing, okay? And so what's my y over here in this point? It's 5. So I know my equation is going to be y equal 5. And again, just to kind of expand this thinking, I could have come over here and I could have used y equal mx plus b on a horizontal line, but it won't work on a vertical line, because a vertical line, you need to know this. You need to know, when you think about vertical lines, you need to know cold turkey, the slope is undefined. The skier goes flat, doesn't he? I also need to know its equation looks like x equals something. X is always the same thing. So if number 33 had been worded a vertical line through 3, 5, I would know the x's are always the same on that vertical line, because a vertical line is just, maybe it would be something like this. So all the x's would be the same. So what's my x here? It's 3. Well, then x will always be 3. So these are important ones. This is information you need to know without having to go over here and do all this figuring, because on a horizontal line, yeah, you could do it if you got stuck, but you can't on a vertical line, because I can't plug in a word for a slope. I can't plug in undefined for my slope and actually do any solving.